Please turn this way, facing Prabhuji here.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Oops. Okay. So we're going to read from Bhagavad Gita 2:21. Just let me get it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, long way to go. Does everybody know the song Jai Radha Madhava? Yeah? It's taking forever. Yeah.
Are you recording it?
I will, yeah.
On Facebook?
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Almost there. 19. Okay. 21. Text 21. Almost 20. Okay. Okay, let's start. Thank you for your patience. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Janavalabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Janavalabha Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtotara Sata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, yes. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtotara Sata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinata Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Navadvip Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Yamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulasi Devi Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi Haribol. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Okay. We are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 21. I was actually listening to a class by Srila Prabhupada a little earlier, and I thought it was on texts 21 and 22, and I thought it's when the class began, then the verse was about the change of body. Just as one changes clothes, one changes bodies. I thought that was the class I was going to be speaking on, and then I looked at 21, and it's not that verse. That's okay. Let's find out what verse 21 actually is. Okay, try to repeat after me. We'll do it line by line, or we'll break it up into smaller sections. Veda Vinashinam Nityam Veda Vinashinam Nityam Ya Enam Ajam Avyayam Ya Enam Ajam Avyayam Katam Sa Purusha Partha Kam Ghatayati Hanti Kam Ghatayati Hanti Kam. Very good. Okay. Veda Vinashinam Nityam Ya Enam Ajam Avyayam Katam Sa Purusha Partha Kam Ghatayati Hanti Kam. One more time. Veda Vinashinam Nityam Ya Enam Ajam Avyayam Katam Sa Purusha Partha Kam Ghatayati Hanti Kam. Okay. Let's do the word for word. Veda, you repeat after me. Yeah, Veda, in knowledge. Avinashinam, indestructible. Nityam, always. Yah, one who. Enam, this soul. Ajam, unborn. Avyayam, immutable. Katam, how. Sah, he. Purusha, person. Partha, O Partha, Arjuna. Kam, whom. Ghatayati, hurts. Hanti, kills. Kam, whom. Translation. O Partha, how can a person... That's okay, I'll say it. You just listen. You get your chance, don't worry, it's my turn. O Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, unborn, eternal, and immutable, kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? Okay, let's hear that again. O Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, unborn, eternal, and immutable, kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Everything has its proper utility, and a man who is situated in complete knowledge knows how and where to apply a thing for its proper utility. Similarly, violence also has its utility, and how to apply violence rests with the person in knowledge. Although the justice of the peace awards capital punishment to a person condemned for murder, the justice of the peace cannot be blamed, because he orders violence to another person according to the codes of justice. In Manu Samhita, the law book for mankind, it is supported that a murderer should be condemned to death so that in his next life he will not have to suffer for the great sin he has committed. Therefore, the king's punishment of hanging a murderer is actually beneficial. Similarly, when Krishna orders fighting, it must be concluded that violence is for supreme justice. And as such, Arjuna should follow the instruction, knowing well that such violence committed in the act of fighting for Krishna is not violence at all, because At any rate, the man, or rather the soul, cannot be killed. So for the administration of justice, so-called violence is permitted. A surgical operation is not meant to kill the patient, but to cure him. Therefore, the fighting to be executed by Arjuna at the instruction of Krishna is with full knowledge, so there is no possibility of sinful reaction. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Karahmayandarati Svaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sijivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kolpatrubhyascha Kripasindube Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. Okay, leaving so soon? We haven't even started. That's okay. Usually I ask everybody that if they feel the need to leave, then do so right at the start. Because if they up and leave halfway through our talk, then I will feel aggrieved. So I don't like feeling heartbroken. It's much nicer, and so many nice things come out if the audience, the hearers, are really enthusiastic and sincere and desirous to know what Krishna is saying. If there's no enthusiastic and receptive audience, then how can the speaker really be inspired? Of course, whether there's an audience or not, still one can preach to the walls. Yes? One friend of mine was telling me that the whole introduction to Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada practically composed in an empty room or without any listeners. Yes? There was no one there for the class to hear him, so he decided to speak anyway. And his speech became the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. So in the effort to glorify Krishna, then there's no constraint of time, place, circumstance. In fact, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami advises that the Lord should be glorified always and everywhere. That is the duty of every human being, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Yeah, we're completely dependent on Krishna, actually. And when we study Bhagavad Gita, we get to really see and realize how we are completely dependent on the Lord, how He is actually everywhere, present. Yes? Not least within our very hearts. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishtati. When it comes to producing the verse, it always slips my mind. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishtati. Bhutani sarva... No. Yantrarudhani maya. Brahmayan... No, don't have it. Let's find it. You see, we're completely dependent on Krishna. You would not believe how many times I have spoken this verse from memory. Yeah? But in this moment, I can't do it. Because I'm dependent on Krishna. Krishna says, Matasmritir jnanam apohanam cha. From me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So I'm dependent on Krishna for memory also. And you can just practically we've just seen, yeah, how if Krishna decides to withdraw the memory, then I have no power to recall the verse, and I have to look it up in the book, right? So very practical. Yes, 1861. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. Krishna says the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. Okay, so the Lord, who's everywhere, and is especially the closest thing to us, He's situated in our hearts. And we are riding on this machine of a material body, and death means simply change of machine. Yeah? As I was listening to Srila Prabhupada earlier, he compared the body, the machine of a body, to a toy. Just like we give our children some toy to satisfy their desire, in the same way, the Lord offers to the living entity, to the soul, a material body fashioned from His material energy, in order that we can attempt to fulfill our different desires for enjoyment in this material world. This is the toy that Krishna has given each of us to try and enjoy the material world. Yes? Death means that this toy has become old, useless, and is rejectable. Yes? It has to be discarded. It's no good anymore. We need a new toy. Yeah? If we're still determined, still insisting on attempting to enjoy the material world, then we require a new toy, a new machine, a new vehicle. Yeah? That's death. Change of vehicle, change of machine, change of toy. And when we're fed up with the playing business, playing in the material world, attempting to enjoy through this material body, then we can begin to look for the light of spiritual life. And that is the platform of real happiness. If we want to enjoy on the platform of real happiness, spiritual happiness, then we must cultivate spiritual knowledge, cultivate our relationship with Krishna, and shy away from the attempt to enjoy material sense objects. Our senses are called Hrishika, and the master of the senses, Krishna, his name is Hrishikesha, because he's the master of the senses. What is the difference between living in the world for my own satisfaction and living in the world for God's satisfaction? It will be very difficult for me to sit down in one place, close my eyes, put some, get some noise-canceling headphones, get a close peg on my nose, okay? I could cover my skin in some sort of, covering, some sort of substance which prevents me from experiencing any touch sensation. Yeah, so I can block out the sensation to my eyes, to my ears, to my nose. Yeah, I can get some gaffer tape, across my mouth, so no food can go in. I can't taste anything. Yeah, I can wrap up like the Michelin Man in something that prevents any touch sensation. I can attempt to shut down all of the connections between the outside world and my senses. Yeah? And I can attempt in that position to think of Krishna and to serve Krishna. How long do you think I'll last? How long do you think I would hold out in that situation? Yeah, tell me. 3 days. Wow. You're optimistic. Maybe you could last 3 days. Yeah. Very difficult though, right? Very difficult. So we're restless, and we're constantly seeking engagement of the senses and activity. We're constantly seeking some entertainment, some work. Yeah? It's very difficult to enjoy any relaxing activity if you have not worked. Yeah, right? Whenever you've worked hard, you've really put a lot of effort into something, and you've spent a lot of energy, physical, mental, emotional, on a project, on a task, on some service for some other person, yeah? Then when it comes to your relaxation, you feel quite, what's the word? You feel like you deserve it, huh? You feel like it's earned, yeah? And you can enjoy your relaxation because you've earned it, yeah? Nice hot bath, yeah? Nice cozy bed, yeah, to rest my body. But if you have not worked hard and you try to enjoy that hot bath or that cozy bed, there's something bothering you, yeah? Right? This is I'm too lazy. I haven't earned this. This is not earned. I cannot enjoy this situation. So, simple point is that we have to be busy, we have to be engaged. Krishna says that a yogi is one who's regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, work, and recreation. Right? Regulated, balanced. We have to be busy, yeah? Because we also have desires. That's why we're busy, actually. The soul, the living entity, each of us, we have desires, so many desires. Desire is the concomitant feature of the living entity. And as a result of those desires, we endeavor to fulfill them, yeah, by working with the body, working with the senses. So very hard to shut down the senses, sit still, do nothing, and enter samadhi on Krishna, right? Absorption of the mind in Krishna. That is possible only when one is in love with Krishna. Yeah, and that is a very advanced stage of spiritual realization. When we're in love with Krishna, yes, you can withdraw your senses from external objects and be absorbed in thoughts of the Lord and His pastimes. But until we come to such an exalted platform, there is another program of activities for us. Either we're going to work with the body and the senses selfishly, trying to enjoy, or we're going to work with the body and the senses for the pleasure of the Lord, for Krishna's pleasure. So bhakti, or devotional service, means to engage the senses, right, the indriya, in the service of the master of the senses. Right? Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam Tatparatvena Nirmalam. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Bhakti means Krishna consciousness, devotional life, spiritual life means to engage the senses in the service of the master of the senses. This is what it means. And this is the process for transforming our material life into a spiritual life. And this is also the process for becoming truly happy. Okay? Why is that? Why is this the process? Why is the process for becoming happy to use my body, my senses, in Krishna's satisfaction? Why should that be the process for happiness? Anybody can give me an answer? Why happiness just doesn't mean to, eat it, put as much into my mouth as possible, see as many nice things as I like, smell as many wonderful fragrances as I can going through the duty free at the airport, right? Listening to all kinds of sounds that make me pleased. Touching all the nice things that I like to. And engaging my working senses in all kinds of pleasurable pursuits. Why is it that simply by trying to gratify the senses of this body and experiencing the pleasure that I can get from that sensation, why is that not satisfying me? Why is that not fulfilling me? And yet using the same body and senses to serve Krishna is satisfying, is fulfilling, is ultimately giving me ever-increasing pleasure, happiness. Why? Does anybody have an answer? One path results in frustration, and the other path results in ever-increasing happiness. On one hand, there's no service to Krishna, and on the other hand, there is only service to Krishna. How come? You have an answer again, right? Guilt. Guilt. Not quite, no. I mean, are you saying that you're happy only because you're allaying your guilt? Because you're not guilty anymore, so now you can be happy? And when you feel guilty, then you're not happy? Is that what you mean?
I mean, it does drag you down quite a lot.
Guilt drags you down. Okay, so what are you guilty about? I mean, I don't mean to point at you personally.
Nothing at this moment.
Good. But if we're not including God in our life and we're trying to enjoy selfishly, are you saying that might induce guilt?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe there's some guilt. If someone is very conscionable, then they might feel a little guilt. But many people are trying desperately hard to enjoy their senses, and they're not guilty at all. They don't feel guilty. They're just, they're really going for it. And the more they go for it, the more frustrated, the more angry they become. Yeah? It's like until they hit the self-destruct button. Really. You pick up any newspaper, look on any news outlet on the internet, there's some horror story of someone who, became very angry and did something very foolish, very destructive to themselves and or to other people. Why? Because they could not satisfy their desire, they could not satisfy their lust to fulfill the demands of the senses. It clearly doesn't work. Because we are eternal living entities. And we're like fish out of water in this material world. Yeah? This material world means two kinds of energy. Yeah? Dead matter, not alive, not sentient. Right? Just not doing anything. Not displaying any symptoms of consciousness. Right? That's one form of energy. Dead energy.
Can I give an answer?
1 second, you're number 2 in the queue. Mataji is number 1. Yeah.
People can come a bit forward, then the people coming from behind can join. Thank you. Sorry to disturb.
No problem. Okay, so everyone, please shuffle a little forward. It helps me as well. I don't feel so distant. Come a little forward. Leave a little space by the door so that people can come in.
I wasn't asking you to leave.
Yeah, no, don't leave, please. We're just getting going. Come forward, please. I promise I don't bite. So, this world is a combination of two kinds of energy. Matter and, what else? Come on, you know this. This world is a combination of matter and? Matter and dead matter. Matter is dead already, right? So we've got matter and? Yes, spiritual energy, okay? Matter and spirit. This world is simply a combination of matter and spirit. Knowledge means to know the difference. Yes, to understand the difference. That is real knowledge. Okay? So I'm going to ask you another question. Which question did you want to answer? Because I've asked a few.
This two energy you speak about, like mostly human beings work with mind energy, and there is the existence of the spiritual energy, which is the beyond the mind energy. So if you work with spiritual energy, then you can understand what is the mind doing, up and down, pleasure and there is a two existence of the energy. So
Okay.
mostly human beings live with the mind energy.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Good. So we have spirit and matter. Yeah? Krishna says that matter is made of 8 elements. Okay? Going from gross to subtle. There's earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. These are 8 separate material elements, and they're all material. There's nothing alive about them. Even the mind, yes, which appears to us to be alive, because we're always working with the mind, but the mind is actually a subtle material energy. It appears to be alive only because of the presence of what? The presence of soul, spirit. So because of the presence of soul, yes, therefore this dead material body, right, walks and talks and displays symptoms of intelligence, hopefully consciousness, emotion, yes? If you poke me, I will react. Yeah? If you poke me with a firebrand, I will react more strongly. Yeah? So I'm alive, this body is alive because of the presence of the soul. Death means that the soul leaves the body. Separation between matter and spirit. Same body. Yes? The same, a few moments before death, maybe you were talking to your relative. Maybe there were some final words that you were sharing. Yes? Then there is the moment of death. After that moment, you can talk to your relative, you won't get a reply. You can poke them with anything, you will not get a reaction. What has changed? What is the difference between my relative a few moments before the death and a few moments after death? What has changed? The only change, yeah? Presence of the soul. Okay? The soul was present. Then the soul is no longer present. That is the only difference. So this whole material energy, this whole material world, is a combination of 2 energies, matter and spirit. And we are attempting to enjoy matter. But we are not matter. We're spirit. So we're like fish out of water. Yeah? You take a little fish, okay? Give him a nice seat. Right? You'll have to be very narrow, because fish are quite narrow generally. Give him a narrow seat, strap him in. Give him a little table, nice napkin, glass. Give him some tasty food. Yes? And say, my dear fish, enjoy yourself, please. Yeah? Can the fish enjoy? Okay? The fish must be in the water, in its natural habitat. We are not in our natural habitat in this material world because we're spirit. And this material world is matter. we are simply inhabiting a material habitat, yes, and trying to express ourselves through this material habitat. But we don't belong here. We belong in the spiritual world. And in the spiritual world, there is no matter. There's no dead elements, no dead earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. None of these material elements. But there is nature, there is a habitat, there is a place full of variety. In fact, it is the real form of variety. Give you a nice example. If you ever go to a lake, a very clear, still lake, on a bright day, and if there happens to be a tree on the bank of the lake or the river, or generally lakes are more still. If you look in the water, on the surface of the water, what will you see? Right, just picture it. There's a beautiful tree by the edge of the water. What do you see? The shadow? I'm looking for another word. The reflection, very good, yeah. I'm seeing the reflection on the surface of the water. Okay? The reflection of the tree exists because the real form of the tree is standing there. Yeah? If I go, let's say that it's a lovely apple tree, and the apples are ripe, ready for being picked, and I'm looking at maybe I'm in my boat, okay, and I'm looking at the reflection in the water, and I see a lovely, juicy apple. And it's such a clear image, it looks so real. And that apple looks so appealing and inviting, and I go to take it. What happens? I can't take the apple, huh? But do I get wet? My hand gets wet. So I see the apple, I want to enjoy that apple, but there is no apple, because it is simply a reflection. In the same way, this material world is simply a reflection of the spiritual world. Okay? Real life, form, variety exists in the spiritual world. But all of that form, life, variety, all of it is made of spiritual energy, not material energy. Yes? It's not dead matter. It's alive. It's Sat, Chit, Ananda. It's eternal, full of knowledge and blissful. That is the nature of reality. So we are trying very hard to enjoy in this material world because we are simply concerned with the reflection. We think that in the reflection there is something for my happiness. And the more we try to enjoy that reflection, the more we become frustrated, because it's not the place of real happiness. It's simply a reflection. Real happiness is in the spiritual world with Krishna. And Krishna says, Na tadbhasayate suryo, na shashanko na pavaka. Yad gadva nanivartante tadhama paramamama. That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or the moon, nor by fire, nor by electricity. It is self-illuminating. It is self-effulgent. Actually, the effulgence of that place comes from Krishna himself. There's no need of sunlight. We need sunlight in this world because it's dark. The nature of this world is that it's dark, therefore there must be a sun to allow us to see the objects of our enjoyment. The nature of this world is darkness, therefore light has to be brought into this world in order for us to exist here. But the spiritual world is not like that. The spiritual world is not touched by darkness. Right? It is all luminous. And Krishna says, Yad Gadvan Nanivartante. Going there, you'll never have to come back here. Never have to come back here to this miserable material world, which is Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, temporary and full of miseries. So why there's not happiness in the process of attempting to enjoy the senses? Well, number one, because this is a reflection of reality. Right? The substance that we're attempting to enjoy is foreign. We're trying to exploit Krishna's energy. And in the effort to exploit that energy, we require our senses and the external world to come in contact. This is called contact between the senses and the sense objects. But that contact is always being interrupted. Yes? Or we're getting satiated or fed up with that contact. Think of something that you really enjoy to eat. Okay, if I give you your favorite thing to eat, okay, and you say, oh, thank you very much, my favorite thing, and then you eat it, and I say, you finished? Here's another one. Oh, I wasn't expecting another one. Well, thank you very much. You eat it, and then I say, have another. Oh, okay. You finish it. Another. Oh, I'm getting quite full now. I'm fine, thank you. No, please, take another. Another. Right? Eventually you'll say to me, no more. Don't give me any more. You'll run away from me. Right? I'm giving you your favorite thing, you will beg me to stop. No more, please. Right? Satiation. This is the nature of material enjoyment. The more we try to enjoy, the less appealing it becomes, until it becomes disgusting. Disgusting. I can't look. I can't look. I don't even want to look. Yeah? I don't want to see another gulab jamun for the rest of my life. Don't end up in such a place. Respect the gulab jamuns. Only take as much as required. So this is the nature of material enjoyment. The senses and the sense objects, they cannot have a permanent relationship. There's no happy ever after between the senses and the sense objects. Okay, there is always breaking up, loss, fighting, or, yeah. Either I lose what I love, or we fight and go our separate ways. But there's no staying together. There's no happy ever after in the material world. Because this is a place of temporary things. And the spiritual world is just the opposite. So I started this with the question, why is there no enjoyment when we're trying to enjoy purely on a selfish platform? And why is there enjoyment if I'm trying to include Krishna or serve Krishna? Does anybody know? No Krishna equals no real enjoyment. With Krishna equals enjoyment. Even if you're in the material world. Even if you're here. We have a body, we have senses. And we can use those senses, we can use this body to serve Krishna. Then we can start to enjoy, even while we're here. How's that possible? Yes. Unconditional love. Very good. Thank you. So now we're getting somewhere. Love is what we're seeking, and love satisfies our heart's desire. Yeah? But if we try to love something material, what is the problem? Right? It's always conditional. It's either partial, conditional, or artificial. We don't really love. We are simply interested in our own satisfaction. Yeah? Love means we care about the other person's happiness. Yeah? Who is able to do that completely disregarding their own happiness? Therefore, material love is always partial, artificial, or conditional. And also, whatever we love in this world will necessarily let us down, because it's temporary. Right? And even if we find someone or something that really receives our love well and gives it back to us, we can't maintain that forever because of the nature of this world. Right? So the good news is that Krishna, God, He is fully capable of receiving our love and loving us in return to our full satisfaction, without any interruption and without any end. That's amazing, right? So Krishna is that person whom is fully capable of receiving our love and giving more back to us without end. Okay, last example. Is everybody still with me? Okay. As soon as the body is born, all the limbs of the body are automatically there also, right? The finger is also there. The hand is there. Everything is there complete. So as soon as you say God, as soon as you say Krishna, then that includes all of Krishna's energies. Each of us is part and parcel of Krishna. This is a very, very important point. If we catch this point, we can understand everything else. And if we miss this point, we will never understand anything, really. Each of us is a tiny part and parcel of Krishna, a tiny fragment of Krishna. Yeah? Just like the hand is a tiny part of the body. The finger is a tiny part of the body. The fingers, the hand, any other part of the body exists for the purpose of the whole body. They're not separable. If we try to make them separate, they become useless. Right? A nice example. When the hand serves the stomach, the hand is nourished. The hand is a healthy, happy hand. If the hand decides that why do I have to serve the stomach? Why I can't enjoy just by myself? Yeah? And the hand takes the gulab jamun, squashes it up, tries to absorb the flavor, the bulk, the nutrients, everything, tries to absorb it through the palm. And what is the result? Sure, the hand becomes the enemy of the body. Now the hand is not supplying foodstuff to the stomach, yes, and the entire body is being disregarded. Yeah? Of course, the mouth then takes it upon itself to eat without the help of the hand. But if the hand can help, then that benefits the hand. So we, being part of God, if we agree to love God and engage our body and our senses in pleasing God, then we will find that we are healthy and happy. But if we object and revolt to that idea that, why do I have to serve God? Why does God have to be part of the picture? Can't I just enjoy myself? Can't I just enjoy separately? And we can try to do that, and we have tried to do that, and for a long, long time. And it doesn't work, because you cannot separate us, each of us, from the source of our life. And you cannot separate us from the source of our happiness. We are inextricably linked, eternally so. There is an eternal, inextricable, undeniable, incontrovertible, undo-away-withableness of the connection between ourselves and the Lord. When we understand that, we can, like the hand feeding the stomach, we can become healthy and happy. And without understanding it, we will continue to try to enjoy the gulab jamun, yes, by a foolish process. And it does not work. And then we become frustrated, angry, upset, disturbed, depressed, yeah? And wonder why I can't be happy. Because you don't know the method for being happy. The method for being happy is Hrishikena Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Bhakti means to engage these senses, right? These eyes, ears, nose, tongue, sense of touch, my limbs, all of my working senses, everything in loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then, and only then, can I be happy. So this verse, 221, Krishna is saying, how can a person who knows that the soul, right, we're talking about the spirit soul, the soul is indestructible, unborn, eternal, and immutable. How can it kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? Because each of us is unkillable. You're not the body, you're the soul. You cannot be killed. You can leave your body, and you will, we have many times left this body, accepted a new one. But I cannot be killed. When Socrates, right, the Greek philosopher, his persecutors, they wanted to kill him, and his response was, first you'll have to catch me. You can't catch me because I'm not the body, I'm the soul. Yes? And on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Lord Sri Krishna is instructing Arjuna to engage in his service. And what was that service? That service was fighting, killing, for a just cause, the only just cause. That's another discussion for another day. But Krishna, Arjuna, by fulfilling Krishna's orders, was not actually killing anybody. He was rather fulfilling the desire of the Lord, yes? And all of the souls who left their bodies on the battlefield, all of them were liberated in the presence of Krishna. So now we'll have Gaur Arti. Thank you very much. Maybe we'll have questions another time. Please everybody stand. Shri Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So everyone can please stand up for the Aarti ceremony, and we can all move forward, come to the front of the temple room, so then others who are joining us can easily come into the temple room, those who are coming a little bit later. And if you have any mats around you, please pick them up and put them aside, so that no one trips over them, no one falls over them. So the ideal place to put the mats is where the bell is, next to the entrance of the temple. You can stack them up nicely. As the Gaura Aarti is being performed, we'll be singing this song. That'll be coming up on your screen very soon. the Gora Arati song, we'll sing one line at a time. Then if you can follow the lead singer. And then we'll go on to chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So please do join in with the singing of Gora Arati, chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and dancing with the devotees. And today we can make a prayer of protection specifically for the devotees who are going through difficult times in Bangladesh. So we can dedicate the Gora Arati, the Kirtan, to those devotees, and we can make